You don't have to do it, Danielle. I did the other night.
And he's at just for the first.
You know what they did? Those homeless motherfuckers?
I don't know anyone which has that kind of money when they move. They with the present gas, they can barely afford that, you know. Yeah. Realtors, which are more.
Gosh, I need to find out.
I went to U of O. I came up from Eugene, and Old Big Park in Eugene housed close to 20,000 African Americans. They closed it up and turned it into a park, moved them outside of the outskirts of the city, and put them all in a tent.
Did you know that was wrong,
people.
right?
So I know exactly where you guys are coming from. The point I'm trying to make is I hear everybody's complaint, but nobody came up with a solution that could go past it. That's what I want to do.
The solution is with the camping bans. It's real easy.
So when I go home, I would like to think that when I do get there, I can do something.
Here's how many times I gotta say the solution's with the camping bans.
What's up, cop?
That's the solution, with the camping bans. This is not a problem anymore.
Cop? Pretty damn sure. Their type of vehicle.
I told you guys. I got told by police that we couldn't stand on the sidewalks. We had to stand in the streets.
That's how
you get the $5 bill. Okay. Okay. This is just over by the square. And then when I confronted Keenan Safe on it, oh, you just misunderstood what he said. I misunderstood stand in the street because you can't stand in the sidewalk. I'm sorry. I must have misheard you guys.
Whatever, Rachel. But you know, it has its other side. Because we're going to come up with a solution. We got tonight. We got a couple days. We need to think strategically about how we're going to deal with the time that we do have and what we decide to do with that time. On our own or collectively. So we wanted to get people who are staying here and people who are supporting us together to have a meeting. Basically, like, I just wanted to get people together to, like, first of all, we're going to have meetings where a lot of different types of people with a lot of different backgrounds and a lot of different ideas about what we should do. I want everyone to be respected, and I want everyone to respect everyone else. And so, I guess we need to think of some guidelines. I think respect is one. I want everyone to be heard. I don't want somebody to talk for 5 minutes and then someone to talk for 10 minutes and then nobody gets, some other people don't get to talk at all. So just be aware of time.
Who's the talking one?
Good. So yeah, so just let's remind ourselves about what's going on with the time. Like if someone's going a little bit, okay, you know, shut it down.
Are we gonna get booted out?
No, we're not. Nobody's getting arrested. The only thing that needs to be done right now is that nobody can be against this wall, and if we leave a little stun or whatever where people sit against the wall, they will get arrested again.
But after 9,
you got no, not against the wall.
So then there's going to
Be back tonight. But nobody will get arrested. Nobody will get in trouble as long as you leave this wall alone and you're in our free zone right there where everybody's stuff is at. And you see us.
not what
Right next to where
That's what they told us. That's what they told us.
Okay.
that's supposed to be houses.
Okay.
Leave us on the curbside.
So who knows where the new evidence is when they pick all the stuff? Where's it at?
It's up behind Lincoln High
No,
School.
it's not. They just moved it.
Not again.
Yeah, they moved it. I do not know where it is. They did not leave. They left a note that says we have moved. And they didn't give an address.
And I have a question for everybody. You guys can raise your hands. What would you like to see now that we have been through all of this? What would you like to see us do now?
Hold on a second.
Housing reform.
That, though. We had kind of an agenda for tonight that we've already talked about. Like one of the we didn't talk. There's so so many different people around here. No, it's cool. Like, the mayor has decided he doesn't want to have any more dialogue. Is that good enough for us?
No.
Okay, so how do we lead? We lead by modeling. One of the ideas was that we have dialogue with the mayor and that we invite the mayor to have dialogue with us. What do you think about that?
I agree.
Okay. So a friend of ours, Jeff Bissonette, he's right back there, and great advocate for what we're doing here. Jeff Bissonette has suggested that we get together and have a dialogue right here on Monday and invite the mayor and invite a lot of community advocates and supporters. And he has access to those votes. Jeff, do you want to talk just a tad a little bit about that?
So just real quickly, I think that you folks, both to protect yourselves and to, like Katie was saying, to lead by example, I think ought to give the mayor another opportunity to meet with you. You know, and it's okay to say we'd like to meet or have an agreement by X amount of time, and you can decide what that is. And if then the mayor doesn't want to do that, then I think that we could probably then get other community people involved who think that that kind of dialogue and that kind of discussion, that kind of negotiation about both, you know, immediate needs, short-term needs, mid-term needs, and long-term needs, you know, start to happen. And you know, and City Hall is definitely the place that it should happen. And if it won't happen inside City Hall, we'll do it outside City Hall. But I think the way that you guys can help, and this is completely and totally up to you, is to at least you know, offer that chance to the mayor again for a reasonable dialogue to show that you're ready to do that, and hope that he is. And if it's not, then we kind of take the next step. So that's my idea, and you guys can kind of decide what to do from there.
Suggestions, questions, comments?
I think it's a good idea to talk to the mayor. The more we invite the mayor to come talk to us, the more it shows that like we're open, reasonable people. We're not just, you know, some like weirdos on the front of the City Hall. Like actually we have like talk louder. Okay. Yeah, I think it's a good idea to invite the mayor to come talk to him, because it shows that we're open to dialogue. We're not just like, you know, stomping our feet, getting angry. And if he refuses to talk to us, that doesn't make us look bad, that makes him look bad. So I think the more we invite him to talk to us, the better.
Along with inviting him to talk to us, make sure that, because today media was slow to get out there, make sure that before we set this meeting up that the media knows exactly what time it'll be. Because when we get, the more media attention we get on this, the more the mayor can't ignore it, because the more publicity it gets, the better it looks on him.
Also, make sure, like she said, have the media, but also let them know that we're trying for a quick, quiet, immediate resolve, because there's a lot of us that could be doing other things, but we're standing here for what's right, and let these people know so that the city can know that this is their mayor who's refusing to come down and talk to us and to hold any kind of long-term commitment to, we're citizens just like they are. We might not have houses, but make sure they know that, so that others besides just the media, so that other citizens and pedestrians can also know what's going on. So try to like get it in the papers or on the news a day or two in advance. That way outside people also know and they show up. So it's more publicity for him.
I think we should take it back and see how many people are willing to go to jail for this.
Wait, we're not quite there yet. We're not quite there yet. But I like that. We're going to talk about this. We're going to talk about this. Let's finish talking about the mayor.
I'm down to Mason and Mason myself.
Speaking with the mayor, what I'd like to see, since they're so into forming task forces amongst themselves, what I would like to see them do is form a task force that is comprised primarily of homeless people, with also representation of the business owners and homeowners, so we can come to equitable solutions for both sides of the socioeconomic fence, that everybody's needs are going to be met fairly, and that we, because we can decide, we know what we need. We know exactly what we need. They just won't let us tell them what we need. They're too busy trying to figure out what they think we need. So I think we need a task force that's comprised of homeless people to deal with the problem of the shelter situations in this city.
Nice.
And also to reiterate what you said, that they should have people that are a part of the fair market, people that are part of the low-income community, and people that are philanthropists that are really looking to go to an expenditure at cost, looking to gain later to actually resolve the problem of housing in Portland, Oregon.
Oh,
exactly.
And I was also going to say, what's going on right now is we're having some serious elections. So I think it's really important that we do invite Joe DiNazio and Sam Adams and other folks that are vying for the mayor's position. Who has
We have him right there.
Thank you, Right Spirit. On what you were saying, it was an excellent idea, but I think that the current mayor could care less because his term's almost up. I think that you attack the two people that are going to be the new incumbent mayors and make them be held accountable before they get in office on that one. And on the other end of it, I think the key is to generate money. It takes money to actually move things forward, and you have to have, obviously, because of everybody's current situation, some indigent, some not, you have to get that money that's going to have excess. So I'm going to go write a paper in the next hour, and I'm going to try to talk to people that I know in the community, why all of the high schools, if we can get a paper into the schools so that, you know how kids go and take the candy bars out, so to speak, then you can get some companies to donate. Some people had said earlier that sponsors didn't work, but I think if you asked differently, it would. So if we went to G.I. Joe's and asked for a sleeping bag.
So it sounds like there's a pretty much a consensus amongst this crowd that we do want to invite the mayor and other folks who are going to have an impact on this decision in the long run to be a part of this conversation on Monday, right?
Yes.
Yes. Everyone in favor say aye.
Aye.
And against? Okay. So we're going to go ahead and do that. Jeff's going to be a big part of making that happen. He's going to send the stuff out tomorrow, if we choose to, and it sounds like we have. He's our ally in this. As far as are you gonna be able to send stuff out to the community? And okay, so that can be done tomorrow, right?
You write it up.
Write it up.
I'm willing to help you.
That's my dad.
Oh, sorry, Jeff. I'm willing to help with whatever you need. You and I have already sat down and talked, so I'm here. I'm here.
Well, my name's Arthur Rios. I just got out of jail about a half hour ago.
Yeah!
Everybody knows that I'm part of the two people that organize this and everything. And here's the thing. They said, and what we were hearing inside there was that they were looking to do it again. So if we are up against the wall tonight, they're going to do the same thing. So if you are the ones that want to go to jail, most definitely sleep up against the wall. If you don't want to go to jail, sleep on the 2-foot curb that they're saying that you can sleep on. And the other thing is, last Friday when they decided to come out and started telling us about how our structures were again and how to move them. Also, I went upstairs and talked to Folsom again to make sure that we could iterate some situations to where this would not happen, but it happened anyways, where they told everybody to move. I told him that we'd like to invite Potter again, once again, for a sit-down at 3 o'clock for Monday. We're going to see what happens. Me and Jeff was talking just a little bit around the corner before he came up here, and I told him I'd come back and talk to everybody. So I've made that invitation already. Some of us have already come with our next steps. Not everybody knows what the next steps are, because if we tell everybody, we might lose some people. We might gain some people. We don't know yet. So with what we have here, there's a strong enough community that's going to stand up for, as they say, 1,438 people that sleep outside, when the actual number is actually 9,261 people sleep outside every day. Wow. That's from the jails, that's from the hospitals, that's from everywhere known to man, from the inside and out. Almost 10,000 people sleep on the streets every night. Where I get that number is not from these guys, but from the state. Okay? And from federal. See, I got friends that can look up numbers too, just as good as they are. There's a group of us that got together with the 10-year plan committee last week also. Okay? my friend Joe here, Rachel, myself, Grace, and Larry, which Larry's still in jail. We sat there. We started to get somewhere. We made a plan. We had a next step. But they have a representative that sits there, that sits next to Potter, that when things were going good, they decided to cut our meeting short. So, you know, this is good that Jeff's coming out to have some dialogue for us at the same time with other resources, because this is a problem and they know it is. So today, 7 of us went to jail for something that we're standing up for. And that's all right, and we know it is.
Right, I'm probably going to jail because I'm sleeping against the wall.
And if I'm going to sit up against the wall, I'll take another ticket. And I'm on probation. They can kiss my ass. Woo. You know, if 2 guys can go, why not can I? 7 of us went.
I said we all stand up.
And what they're doing right now is, you know, we're not supposed to be listening to what they're doing. They're trying to, right now, see how many beds they can clear, because they know that a lot of us are going to try to go to jail. And they're going to keep us and try to keep us for certain reasons. So I'll tell you right now, if I got to be another one to go, I'll take another one. Yeah. But seriously, if you guys understand what we're trying to do, you understand. And you guys really got to understand one thing too. There was a set of 6 rules that came upon this block when we got here, which was no drugs and alcohol, which we can thank to Rebecca, Skidmore, and Jennifer over there, to where the cops would not help us. 5 days in a row, they brought that shit here. 5 days in a row, the cops said we couldn't let them go because they were part of this protest. Bullshit. This is the reason why they came out today and fucked with us. Big time.
Yep.
All right?
And you noticed they
and
only
that's the
bothered
only
with,
thing. That's the only thing. And then over here, because they told everybody to move from that side, and it was TriMet. All right, that was bullshit, because that's where they told them to move, right in front of TriMet. So that's where that second complaint came from. Those were 2 major issues that they had. One was the drugs on one side, one with the kids on the other side by the TriMet, and that's where they told them. Those guys are all
gone anyway. They've heard out of here, like skedaddle.
Actually, half of them are in jail. Yeah.
The dog guy, the shadow dog, and his whole group of freaks that went up over there, they're gone.
No, it wasn't them. It was the kids that went into jail with me. That stood up for what we were doing.
No, I'm talking about Shadow Dog and the problem.
Shadow Dog wasn't the problem.
He wasn't part of the problem at this time. This one was the ones that was sitting along the wall over here.
Listen, guys, listen. If we're going to argue with each other, then you don't got to be here. Plain and simple. We're here for reasons. We want to see the sit line gone. We want to see the camping ordinance gone, or at least suspend them. This is an emergency in the camping ordinance. It says if there's an emergency, right, that they have to go ahead and suspend it until they can fix the problem. There's a clause inside the camping ordinance that if it becomes an emergency, that there has to be a way to go ahead and suspend it. We found it. I've talked to Jenny Nelson from Sisters of the Rose. She told me where to find it in her files. I'm going to go there tomorrow and I'm going to get them. She's already let me know. But I'm going to send it back to Jeff real quick so he can reply on
Again, I hadn't intended to respond, but I will. Well, one thing is that you know, right now the mayor is the housing commissioner, so he's the guy that kind of has his hands on the reins. So he's the guy that needs to focus on. Absolutely, you should talk to other folks. Absolutely, you should talk to other candidates like me. But we need the mayor is the housing commissioner right now, so that's just something you need to keep in mind. And then over the next few days, one thing I want to sort of emphasize with that Art was talking about, you do have rules out here, and you need to be real cognizant of that. If you're going to break the law, it's up to you. And if you want to get arrested and sleep against the wall, completely up to you. But at the same time, we need enough people out here that to make the case and to sort of do, I think what you were saying is that there are people that really want to negotiate and want to make sure that something gets done for everybody. And so just make those decisions knowing that, and try and keep pretty clean, no drugs, no alcohol, no, nothing like that, so that you already have a lot of support and a lot of respect in the community. That needs to build, and if you're going to win this thing, you're going to need all the respect and all the support that you can get. And people don't think you're model citizens, but you are. And a lot of you are Oregonians, a lot of you are Portlanders, a lot of you are registered to vote, and a lot of you do vote. And you need to show, and that's about as model as you can get. And so you need to show people just how good you are. And so you don't need to give the cops any more excuses to do a sweep or to do a big clean out, because all they'll need is just a little bit. So just keep it kind of on the level, and hopefully over the next few days we can do some work. And if the mayor doesn't respond to the invitation, then we can get some other people to respond. So that's all I have to say, and I'm happy to be of any help that I can.
Can I reiterate one thing? No drugs, no alcohol. Number one, no drugs, no alcohol. Alcohol is the most recognizable used drug. Once you're drunk, you slur and you stumble and fall. And if you're going to go and do that, don't come back. Stay away. Don't be pouring, which I've been told a few of you guys, I don't know which one of you it is, but a few of you guys like to put your alcohol in cups and drink them right out of cups. If we have to start checking every cup, every time we see somebody with a cup, to find out who's got the alcohol, we'll run you off. We don't want you here because it's a problem. And it's not a problem for me because, you know what? I don't drink. So the problem is for us, not for me, but for us. Alcohol and drugs, take them away and don't come back with them. Period. Period. And that's all I got to say.
Okay. For those of you who are going to stay up against the wall and are willing to go to jail, designate somebody to take your possessions into their custody tonight before you go to bed. If you have an animal, make sure that somebody has your animal so it doesn't go to the pound.
Because it's all the way in Troutdale and it's a long walk back.
Plus, if you can't get out there, they will put your animal down.
Exactly.
They will not. Make sure you leave any possessions or animals, like you said.
It depends on the type of animal.
And everyone sleeping against the wall needs to leave their name on a piece of paper so the rest of us here can know who went to jail for it, so that we can have documents of everything.
Also.
So I gotta ask.
I'm sorry.
Sorry. Oh, I didn't know we were.
You have a stick. Also, I noticed today when we saw one of what we consider to be our leaders get arrested, we all kind of started running around with our chickens with the heads cut off after the cops disappeared. Instead of doing that, we need to stick together. The drama, everything, it just separates it. Instead, we need to stick together, and when people do look up to get arrested, find the ones that that was closest to that person. Okay, like today it was Rachel, Art's wife Justina, and a couple other people. Don't start going around like ordering people to do things. Ask. And if you got a problem with it, take it to somebody who's Art or somebody is left in charge. Because without a leader, we look like a bunch of hooligans. And from across the park, the way the people were just wandering around and goofing off, it didn't look like we were protesting at all. It looked like we were camping out.
This guy had his hand up.
Can I get that? Can I get that?
I've had my hand up. He's had his hand up since we started talking.
I was like, this is one question for our leader. Due to the fact that now we are set on the curb, we do have to watch for the street sweepers because they will be coming through tonight. And they do come up on the curbs. Yeah. So watch your stuff. it will get shredded by these things.
I've had it happen.
Not only that, but the metal bars that are attached to these brooms do break off, and they will puncture your skin.
They hurt.
Are there others who haven't spoken yet? Who would like to speak?
This guy right here.
I would like to just say one thing.
Wait.
It's really
Are there
basic.
others that haven't spoken yet that would like to speak? Rick right here would like to speak. Rick.
Question, where do you
Well,
get
geez,
that
that would be an emergency, wouldn't it be? A safety hazard to be that close to that thing
yeah.
going off?
You know,
You're
I've been down here
blanket
for
on you
13
and
days. I
it's
saw you guys on TV in Seattle 13 days ago and came down to support you guys.
Yeah.
You know, I've been working every day I've been here because I still got bills up in Seattle, whether I'm sleeping on the sidewalk here or not. You know, and every night I get kept up till 3 in the morning, and I worked 81 hours last week to pay my bills in Seattle. The stuff's more expensive, it pays more up there, so I got to work overtime down here. You know, but you know, we got to be respectful of everybody else in here. You know, we have to have some time at night where it's time. If you're going to talk to people, you go somewhere else and do it. I know we've had other people that work in the community that have been supportive, been out here at night. We've had students. Danielle and Glad came from the college right here and spent the night. You know, we got to be respectful of more laws. We just started drinking and drugs on here, but people jaywalking every day, going back and forth across the street. You know, for every time somebody does that, it puts a negative impact on the whole thing that's happening here.
Everywhere.
People are seeing everything that you do here. It's like you're under a microscope. You know, you may go out of your way to do one thing nice for one person, and maybe somebody will know about it besides them. But you know, you do one thing wrong, and everybody's going to know about it. That's all I got to say.
So do we want to decide on a time that's a reasonable hour for people that, like, if it's, you know, people are sleeping, that you would go across the street and talk and have a conversation?
10:30 p.m. is my suggestion.
I was thinking 10:30.
10:30. Yeah.
I think it should be 10 o'clock.
10 o'clock.
That's what I think too.
Okay, check it out. We're all adults here. We're all adults here. Respect your neighbor. You can't put a curfew on any one of us. We're not children, but respect your neighbor. It's real easy. Respect your neighbor. Also, how about right now, we get kind of a show of hands of how many people really are willing to go to jail. How many people really willing to go to jail behind this cause? A show of hands to the people that are really willing to go to jail.
I will take care of the cat.
Okay,
I will take both of my cats.
Look around you guys and really look at the people that are really willing to go to jail. Look at each other. Get a good look deep into each other's eyes. Get a good look at each other. Because you know what? We are the ones that are going to get strong.
Yeah, but you're also the
So listen to what I'm saying. Listen to what I'm saying. Most of these people that are really willing to go to jail, they're really willing to stand up for everybody else's rights too. So, get up and stand up for your own rights also. Be strong. Don't be scared to be strong, because there's a lot of people out here that are willing to lose their freedoms for yours.
Dwayne.
I think there's definitely, like, I want to be vocal that I'm supportive of all those who feel like they want to go to jail and they've got to be strong. I think that's a very important part of this process. I also feel very strongly that if a significant number of us go to jail, I mean, no matter what we do, the police are still the police and they will still silence you. It's truth. So we have to be careful that our numbers don't dwindle so significantly that by dividing us in jail and out of jail, that we become non-existent and that this becomes ineffective. Because we still have to have a camp. So power to the people who want to go to jail, that's awesome. And I totally have kudos respect. But we also still need people here. So it's good to balance.
Okay. So check it out, check it out, check it out. Check it out, our goal, let's make our goal. How many people do we want to go to jail a day? Do we want 5, 10, 15, 3, 2, 1? We make a choice how many people we want to go to jail.
We're just going to let you and release you too.
Okay, we started with 7, so let's keep it at 7. No more than 7 people trying to go to jail a day.
Three so far. Only 3 out of the 7 has gotten out of jail so far.
Well, no, they'll all be outside. So we try not to see anybody. I don't care about the jail. I don't have
I don't know about everybody else. I can only speak for myself. But you know, when I said I was willing to go to jail, doesn't mean I'm going to do anything to initiate going to jail.
Right. Exactly.
You know, I'm not going to stand up here on this wall and invite them to take me and lose my ability to fight here. Right. You know, I'm going to sit here and do everything I can do until it comes down to the very end. When they give me the option of running away or going to jail, they're going to be taking me. I'm going to be the last one to go.
He's had his hand up for a long time.
So this is only slightly, this is kind of related, and I'm going to make it as quick as possible. What's happening tonight is the circle that I suggested several days ago and was accused of trying to take power away from the leaders. My suggestion originally was that we should gather together in a group like this and discuss exactly what we're doing right now. So we're all on the same page. So if Art or Larry or Joe or any of these people go to jail, we don't have to walk around like chickens with their heads cut off, because we're working as a cohesive collective that is self-led, not a group of followers underneath leaders that are incapable of functioning without those leaders. So on that, because we're all here right now, one thing that I've noticed is we are under a microscope. We've got cameras all over the place, all right? There's been, in the last few days, garbage detail, but still across the street, those public trash cans are filled with our garbage and protest signs, as are those garbage cans down there and some garbage cans up there. And if we could get together from this circle, if we could get 7 volunteers to put their hands up and say, hey, I'm willing to be trash detail tonight. We already have a trash committee.
Can I talk?
Then we can police the whole area, including City Hall, yards, and the park, and clean up all of the garbage that have come from us and take it elsewhere. Now I'm done.
There's a restaurant that's right over the way.
Alright, I was writing some things, and he kind of got on my subject. I decided, and Pinky decided, we just were kind of wondering what we should do about this. There wasn't a few people here when I decided to get together. Oh, by the way, a little off the subject real quick. If anybody, even if it's a minor cut, or if we do all the procedures, which we've had problems with the ambulance and anything, if you see something that me or anybody else don't see and it's a medical, please come and tell me. I am documenting every single thing, that ambulance number, fire truck number, anything that deals with that incident, so that way we can keep track of who needs the most help. Like people with the seizures, make sure if there's an ambulance coming, which I've seen a very good job. I commend every single one of you who has said something. Ambulance coming, fire truck coming, so that way we are warning the people who have seizures that go into ones when they pass by. I absolutely appreciate that. We do have a trash committee. There's 4 people that were willing to work long hours, but if anybody, I commend anybody who wants to be and help just kind of, go around and make sure there's no trash.
Or
we also
pick up
have,
your own trash.
Yeah, just pick up your own trash, but if you see a little piece of garbage, we have a trash receptacle right by my bed. We have a trash receptacle by the food cart, which is the red cart over by the tree. We're probably going to have one over here, and we're going to have one over here. So there's one on all 4 sides, so you don't have to cross the street to throw away the trash. We also have, kind of going back to, oh yeah, and the 911 calls, I have that written down too, what time, the departure and everything. Pinky is kind of the main one that worries about making sure that the trash is, but we have Pinky, Pet, Candy, and Dwayne, but I don't know when Dwayne and them are going to be back. But we also have, I thought up of a safety committee who actually, when the yellow brick road comes through, make sure we have Band-Aids and gloves and ointment and everything like that. So if you need any type of first aid, like if the yellow brick road doesn't come by one day or whatever, and you need a Band-Aid or ointment or individual cream, whatever it is, I have it all, and I also have a first aid kit. So there could be And he has a first aid kit. Who else has one? Katie has one. Oh. Okay. So we have you kind of have one. She's right. We have like 3 or 4 people just walk around and ask, but I am one that does have a lot of first aid. The safety committee, we also have Linda. We have actually my boyfriend also who has a half a degree in EMT. So if you have any questions that are major, like we need to seizure people, or someone has a slight concussion, which we had one last night that we really have to watch. If you have any concerns, questions, basically what I'm saying is come to one of us. We also are trying to come up with one of the things that I was thinking of, and we can get input on this as well. Our signs, every morning that I have noticed so far, there's a few signs that end up in the middle of the road. If we can get maybe, I don't know, 2, 3 people or whatever, just to make sure that the signs are propped up, and if they're dirty, to come to the person, or to, if you really want to ride it over, you can, you don't have to. But the signs need to be out of the road, so that way the cars can come in and park, the people who work here, and make sure the signs are off the road and propped up so everyone can see why we're here and what everybody's opinions and beliefs are, because if they're on the road, they can't really see it. So if we can have 1 or 2 people, that'd be awesome. So that's all I have to say.
I missed the first part of that because you were talking now.
Sorry. The signs, we've noticed, Art's noticed, a couple other people have noticed that our signs that we make are ending up in the road.
Oh yeah, I've noticed that quite a few times.
We're trying to get a couple people just to pick them up every day, or if you see one on the road, to pick it up. Or if you want to rewrite it, that's up to you, but you really don't have to. So we just need a couple people to make sure our signs are up and make sure people can see them.
So before we lose everybody here, because it looks like the crowd's coming to town, getting a little bit smaller, I want to make sure that if there's something that hasn't been addressed today, that needs to be addressed, that we bring it up.
I'm new here tonight. Nice to meet you. My name's Shanti. Nice to meet you.
Thank you for being here.
Maybe I'm the only one, but could someone repeat the 6 rules for me? Because I don't know what they are.
Okay, the first one is there's no drugs and no alcohol. Of course, being a really big thing for that.
Can you speak louder?
Oh yeah, sorry. There's the first rule is no drugs and no alcohol. Second rule is no foul language. I know all of us have a hard time with that, and I appreciate that, kind of keeping it down. But that also affects us on how we look and how we sound. Okay. The third one we have is there is no smoking on City Hall property. Yes, some people are kind of slacking on that, but we don't look as bad as we did the first time. We do have a smoking area. Everybody smokes by that tree or on that sidewalk across the road. Just so we don't have people complaining that they're smoking in their face, because there are people with asthma and stuff that walk by. And yeah, I know it's kind of a little bit, disturbing because, the mayor says we can't smoke on the public sidewalk, which I don't understand either. But that's one of our rules too, just so everybody, can, be together. The last rule is no weapons. If you have a weapon, to put it in your backpack, whether it's anywhere from a knife to a bigger knife to anything after that.
And
I hope it's nothing after that. But
respect all others.
And we respect all others.
Even ones we don't like.
Yeah, respect yourselves, your neighbors, and all others around you, which means the community, the people that walk in and out of this building. And I actually have one important thing. Okay, this is of course City Hall, but we have had 3 complaints already. I've heard one myself. The bathrooms in City Hall are not used as bird baths. We have had hair in the men's restroom. I don't know what reason, but a woman had left underwear in the dispenser where you throw the feminine products. We have also had a toilet flood. So if you are to use, which happens, it's a toilet plumbing problem, whatever it may be. But these inside restrooms, they're nice enough to open them for us. We need to respect the building, and we need to respect the security guards that let us open and use the bathroom, because they can, by law, take that rule away where we cannot use the bathroom. And I don't want that, because that's just the closest proximity where we have to walk. Otherwise, we have to walk millions of miles.
There's two outhouses.
Nice bathrooms.
Okay, I don't know about the outhouses. So I guess there's 2 outhouses in the back, but I would prefer these ones because they're cleaner and they're inside.
Well, they're clean.
But
they're warm
be sure
too.
to pick up after yourselves. That's the biggest one. Pick up after yourselves. And when you use the restroom, go do your thing, wash your hands, and come out. and don't spend like 15 minutes. I know there's a 15-minute law, but
This is the most important item for every one of us right now. Do you know what the most important item for every one of us to do right now? Unite, don't divide. Unite, don't divide. The second most important item that we need to deal with amongst ourselves is the bickering amongst ourselves. It's really important that we look at what we got to complain about amongst each other. Really think about your complaints before you complain. Really think, is it really worth the time to put out the energy to complain about something somebody else is doing out here? Other than the drugs and alcohol, there is really nothing that any of us should be complaining about, except the respect out here. Amongst what we respect in ourselves, we should also show that respect to each other and the people that are coming and going.
Okay, I got kind of one more thing to add to that about the foul language or whatever. Also, lots of yelling and bickering and pushing and shoving. I think that's absolutely uncalled for. We're here for a peaceful protest, from what I know. And I really don't think that yelling and screaming and pushing and shoving and hitting and all that stuff is very peaceful. The more violent we look towards each other gives us a bad name, and that makes people think that we're going to be violent towards them. We really don't need that right now.
I just want to say that I want to
Speak up, Dorian.
I want to say also that I agree with the concept of the peaceful protest. The lawyers seem to be indicating that that's the way to go with this, anyways. And I was observing the arrests earlier today, and I went across the street to get a wide-angle view of what was going on and see how it would look. And it really concerned me the level of intensity that people were bringing to it. It made the group look violent or out of control. Police officers knew exactly how to deal with that. They're professionals at this. They acted very calm and let us just kind of stew in our own juices. I just wanted to just bring that to light, that's how it looked from across the street. And I hope that maybe the next time we have an encounter that it would be a little more peaceful.
And I apologize today because when they arrested my brother, I did get in their face. Sorry, but it's my brother.
Right here.
Speak up.
Just wanted to say, in terms of like consciously making a decision to perform civil disobedience, I feel like it's really important that people are clear with each other.
Speak up, yo. I think people should actually get together, those people who are planning on doing that, have this conversation. But yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, and make sure you're making a statement about what you're doing, and that the cops aren't charging you each individually with different stuff. Like
that's not even applicable to why we're here.
Right. Can I say something really quick, too? Thanks. I just want to commend you guys. I'm very impressed by this meeting tonight. I think it's amazing. And I work with a lot of people who they have such a different picture of what homelessness is. I just want you guys to know, like, this is amazing. I love the community here. And the organization, you guys have your act together, but you need to make sure that that is communicated to the community. And bickering and arguing and leaving trash and all that kind of stuff is only going to scatter the strength that you guys have. It's going to get people to focus on the stupid stuff that doesn't matter. And that's why I think you guys have such a powerful platform, and that's why we're here joining in. It's like we just want to make sure that the voice is heard. So do what you can. Like Katie says, respect. If you respect people, they may not respect you, but they have nothing to stand on. You know? So I just want to commend you guys what you're doing, and fight hard, but don't just go to jail just to go to jail. That doesn't prove anything. That just makes more people, like the people I talk with at my work every day that don't really know what's going on, it just makes them feel like they have every right to distrust you guys or to not want to help out or care. So, yeah, I think you guys are doing a great thing.
It also breaks apart that solidarity that you guys are forming.
Loud.
It breaks apart the solidarity that you all are forming, and I just know that the social action movements that succeed are the ones that have the largest numbers.
Yeah.
So the more of you are here when you all sit down to meet with Mayor Potter, the better.
Right.
The more people that are here for the city council meeting, the better it looks for all of you, and it makes it really hard for them to turn their head and not pay attention to what you have to say. So that's all I want to say.
But sitting against the wall is what makes you go to jail. Why bother sitting against the wall?
And I just want to say, like, I really think that we maybe should have a planned meeting time every day so we can all recollect. And if we,
Because we're in the back, we don't know what's going on.
right. So I'm wondering if anyone has any ideas for that. In the evening at 9?
There's people during the day that can't
I just think there's a lot of side discussions. I think it's really important that we do have continued meetings every day, a place where we can check in with each other. Reflect on what happened. Okay, cool. So maybe we can just plan to have a community meeting every night at 9 o'clock to discuss what happened during the day, and if we need to have meetings in between, we can make those ad hoc, as they come up. So,
Where
I
at?
also want to say that you guys are having a good time out here and laughing and playing. And what? Well, I was going to say I appreciate the laughing and playing. Some of it. There is some that's game. But you know what? We're just humans. And this is not an easy time for any of us. And we need to have fun and we need to enjoy each other. But there are lines, this is a serious thing that we're doing, and we need to take it seriously. So, keep up the good work, you guys. And I really would encourage you, if you're planning on doing this with this meeting, to get together with all the other folks who are doing that and plan a collective action. And I would say when we disband this meeting, that those folks would just stick around and have that conversation. If you're not interested in doing it, but you want to learn,
I just want to introduce myself. If some of you may have seen me around, my name's Amanda Waldrop. I'm a reporter with Willamette Week, and I've been covering this for the paper for the last week, and I've written a couple stories already. Since it sounds like you guys are going to get swept out on Tuesday, I hope to step that up a little bit. If any of you want to talk to me, feel free to walk up to me. I'm not out to embarrass you guys or write bad stories against you. I really appreciate what you're doing, and I think people at Willamette Week also appreciate it. They're really interested, and I'm out to tell your stories and to try and help you guys out if I can. So I'll be coming here, I think, every night from now on, and hopefully taking part in your meetings. Feel free to come up to me and share your stories, talk to me. I can give you my contact information. So, and thanks for letting me be here.
So I think we're pretty much done, unless anyone else has anything they want to share.
Motion to adjourn.